When we are stuck in our daily lives, we tend to forget the core underlying essence that we are going to die one day. The absolute truth, which cannot be changed, which cannot be hindered. A needle. That whatever you do, good or bad, that is not going to give you the consequences in this life, but after you die, you're going to see the consequences. You're going to be thrown to hell or you're going to be thrown to heaven.
So, Bhaiya, what do you think about death?
Um, death एक which is a very controversial topic. ठीक है, everyone has their own meaning of death. Mostly we know that 99% of the population is fearful of death. मतलब they fear death बहुत ज़्यादा अंदर तक खौफ. In spite of knowing this that कि जिस दिन हम अपनी पहली सांस लेते हैं from that day onwards एक तरह से कह लो we are rigged to die. Why? Because everything is life is very dynamic, life is ever flowing. लेकिन death is something which is very constant. Death is something which is meant to happen. You cannot avert your death. So that is where people fail to understand the essence of death. Everything is flowing, yeah. Everything is very much dynamic, very much changing. Your money, your fame, your life, the people around you. But the only constant which we forget about is death. Why fear that? That is my question. Why fear that? There was a journey which you were meant to have on this planet. Here we are not talking about people who die before their age or kids who die unfortunately, but we are talking about people. Talking about death in general. When we when we finish our journey on this planet, उसके बाद जब हम मरते हैं, तो वो जो fear होता है, why do we fear that? That is what fear is. समझ रहे हो बात?
हाँ, तो बात तो समझ रहा हूँ। तो भैया, what do you think about afterlife or death? Is the death ultimate thing, or there is anything after the death?
यार ये बहुत अच्छा सवाल पूछा तुमने कि ये जो हम लोग जो फियर है ना हमारे अंदर डेथ का, शायद देखो दीज आर माय परसेप्शंस कि शायद इसी वजह से वी हैव क्रिएटेड आफ्टर लाइफ टू एस्केप बिकॉज ह्यूमन there is this human tendency to escape everything, to find a solution for a problem and find an escape to everything. That is where we are stuck at. So, to escape the fear of death, we might have created the idea of afterlife. After dying, we will be going somewhere. Because this idea, when I tell you what is the meaning of death for you, जब मैं तुमसे ये बात कहता हूँ, जब मैं कहता हूँ ये चीज़ imagine करो, तो it is really very intimidating and scary to think. This is a very frightening situation for you when I tell you कि imagine yourself what will happen to your consciousness, to your personality, to your body, which you are feeling right now. What will happen to this when you close your eyes? Where will it go? Will it be constant darkness? Where will it be constant gloominess? Will you be stuck somewhere? Will you reopen your eyes somewhere else? This is still a question mark. You might be the greatest scientist, you might be the greatest philosopher, greatest biologist, greatest anything, any ist, but the core, the key essence here with what that people forget is fear, the underlying fear, which is why we created afterlife. कि भाई मरेंगे तो उसके बाद we'll be going somewhere. क्यों? Because we are so, we can also relate one more thing here in afterlife, that we humans are so thirsty of power. We are so thirsty to see ourselves as immortal beings, because when we are stuck in our daily lives, we tend to forget the core underlying essence that we are going to die one day. The absolute truth, which cannot be changed, which cannot be hindered. A needle. We forget about that कि भाई हम मरेंगे. That is what we forget. And we believe ourselves. You are having a very fun day. You are having the best day of your life. You are enjoying with your friends. You are enjoying with your family. You are enjoying with anyone around. You are roaming places. You are eating stuff, and then you do not have that thing clicking in your mind that you will die someday. But when it clicks in your mind, you see something on the internet, you see something on the news channel, that fear of death clicks in your mind, and then you tend to realize that, oh, we are mortal. We aren't immortal. What we think ourselves as. We think our life is ever. Our lives would be evergreen. Our lives would be ever flowing. तो हम वो चीज भूल जाते हैं, वो essence भूल जाते हैं. So that's why To see ourselves as immortal, we have created a thing known as the afterlife. That after dying, you'll go somewhere. And if you and we linked those things with good deeds and bad deeds. If you do good deed, your afterlife would be very good. If you do bad deeds, your afterlife will be fucked, to be very honest. So death has many dimensions to it. If we look at it with the perspective of a human being, that is, death is something which we don't know what it is about. We die, we end. We have the journey which we were on has ended now. But we humans, because of our greed, because of our power to rule, because of our instinct to rule, because of our ego, we have attached many things to it. Be good deed, bad deed, afterlife, hell, heaven. So that is what people tend to forget. That is what the key underlying essence is, that we can't tell. Everything which we are talking about is philosophy. That is what's happening. We are trying to force this philosophy of afterlife on people. That whatever you do, good or bad, that is not going to give you the consequences in this life, but after you die, you're going to see the consequences. You're going to be thrown to hell, or you're going to be thrown to heaven. Sorry, not thrown. Well, you will be placed in heaven. And that is how things, cultures manipulate you to believe in afterlife. So that is, I hope this answered your question, which was not very clear, but I hope. Full stop.